Okay, welcome there. This is Tony Porter, Tabletop Baseball Digest, and we are playing a little Fall Classic Baseball. I'm playing the 7-3 Mets, and it's Tom Seaver, so it was exciting to see him on the mound against Rorik Harrison. Tom Seaver can go much deeper into the game than Harrison for the Braves, and Harrison's a B, Seaver's an A. Lineups for the Mets. Let's look at those quickly. All right, the lineups are going to be for the visiting Mets: Garrett, Mian, Staub, Jones, Milner, Hodges, and Hahn, Harrelson, and Seaver. For the Braves, it's Gar, Perez, Evans, Baker, Lum, and Johnson, Tepedino, Casanova, and Harrison. Let's play ball. All right. So we're throwing a couple of D6s and a D20. Wayne Garrett steps to the plate, and it is Harrison versus Garrett. And here's the pitch, and that's a 52, so that's going to be a potential error check. And we're going to see that's error 52. It's a third baseman error on Evans. I don't have the chart, but Evans is a 7. I rolled high. I rolled a 17, so that's going to be a ground ball to Evans, and he throws out Garrett for the first out of the game. Mian's batting 265 in our replay. Pitch is 16, and that's going to be an out. That's a fly ball in the air to center, and Baker 2 down. Rusty Staub's batting 279, 14 home runs. And the pitch, it's a 15, and that's going to be lined to right field, and Gar positioned perfectly. And that ends the inning. And it's Ralph Gar who leads off now. He's a lefty hitter, and the replay's batting 276. I'm using Replay Baseball to keep my stats. I play the team that I choose and the games that I choose if you want to do it that way. And leading off is Ralph Gar against Tom Terrific. And it's a 21, which will be an 11, tapped right back to the mound, and Seaver handles it easily. Next is Marty Perez. Seaver gets the sign and deals a 41, and that is going to be a ground ball to third. Scooped up by Garrett. Throw across the diamond to Milner at first for out number 2, and here's Darrell Evans. Darrell Evans definitely has some good power. 41 home runs, and here's the pitch, and a 13 is not going to do it, but that's going to be enough for a ball for a walk to first base. So Evans at first. Here's Dusty Baker, who hit 21 home runs. So they got a powerhouse of a team, this Atlanta Braves. And a 44, that's going to be ripped. And at the shortstop, Harrelson, who knocks it down and keeps it in the infield. So we got runners on first and second here with 2 outs. And here's Mike Lum, another guy with power. Lum hit 16 home runs. So Seaver gets the sign from Hodges, and he sets the deals. And that's going to be a 63. So a swing and a miss and a high fastball gets Lum to chase to end the inning. So Seaver gets out of a sticky situation, and we go to top of the second. Cleon Jones. Cleon Jones, 75, was during spring training was pulled out of a van in Florida with a girl, and they were both naked. It was quite embarrassing for the Mets. 43 on Jones, and a 43 on Jones is ball 4, so he walks. So Harrison leans towards losing the play, has a wild streak, and it's John Milner. We're just going to roll with him. He's got good power, snake eyes, and that's going to be a 1-5 walk. Otherwise, it's a swing and a miss, and he strikes out. Hodges is up. Hodges, how's he doing? Hodges is batting 267 in 90 at-bats. Jones takes his lead and pitch to Hodges. A 52. That's an error check against somebody. Let's look. I'm having issues where I have these cards. Let's pull them to the other side. Alright, so a 52 reads third base error. And the number is a 10. And what did we say Evans was? A 9, I believe. At third base, he was a 7. So he makes the play. It's a even number, so that's going to be a fielder's choice 5-4. So Hodges bounces one to Evans, who goes to second for 1 and no throw to first. And here's Don Hahn, batting 151. Picked up a couple of hits, and 31. He's going to pick one up here. That's a little ground ball, and that's through into center field. Hodges will stop at, most likely he will stop at second. Not great speed for Hodges. Single to left. Yeah, he's going to stop at second because he's slow. First and second now for Buddy Harrelson. Rest in peace. He passed away a couple of days ago. Here's the pitch from Harrison, and that's a 54. Now, we're going to see what that's going to become. With men on base, it's a possible wild pitch or pass ball. Oh, it's going to be a wild pitch for sure. I don't think Casanova's pass ball goes beyond 5. Nope, went to 5, and I rolled 7, so that falls into... That's a wild pitch, and that's going to move both runners up into scoring position with 2 outs, and Harrison is still up. They're going to... Should they walk 260 hitter to reach a 160 hitter? Sure, why not? Let's intentionally walk Buddy and pitch to Tom Terrific. Here's the pitch, and it's a 14. Struck him out, and that ends the inning. So a good managerial decision there to walk the better hitter. Here's Davey Johnson. Got a ton of power. 43 home runs. Here's the pitch, and that's a 62. Struck him out. Seaver blows a fastball by him. Got him down on one knee. And Paul Casanova. Oh, actually it's Tepedino and then it's Casanova. And a 25 against a righty. It's the line base hit to right. So a Splitsville single for Tepedino. That's why he's in there. Here's Casanova. Seaver gets the sign, looks over at Tepedino. Flips over to Milner to keep him close. Here's the pitch to Casanova. It's a 12 and a 4, and that will be a 4-6-3. They turn it. Double play for the Mets. They're out of the inning. Wayne Garrett. And gets a hold of one. Drives it deep to right field. Back goes Gar to the track. Looks up, and that's gone. Home run. 1-0 Mets. That is number 10 for Wayne Garrett on the season. Garrett hit, how many did he hit? He did hit 16. And Felix Millan comes to the plate. And Millan's batting 264. Yeah, 63 will be a bouncer. Picked up by Johnson. One down. Here's Rusty Staub. Rusty Staub batting 278, 14 home runs. And the pitch from Rorik Harrison. 65, and that's a drive. And that's way back to right field down the line, and that ball is in the seats. So 2 home runs here off of Rorik Harrison. One by Wayne Garrett, the other one by Rusty Staub. Cleon Jones is up. He's a right-handed hitter, batting 295 and 100 at bats. He's missed a lot of the season with injury. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a 41. That's ball 4. So he walks. John Milner, the hammer. 1 out. Top of the 3rd. Mets lead at 2-0. Pitch from Harrison to Milner. And that's a 15, which will be a ground ball to second base. And over to short, back to first, 4-6-3 double play. All right. right, leading off is the pitcher Harrison here in the bottom of the third inning, 2-0 Mets. Here's the pitch from Seaver, 24, struck him out. Ralph Garr steps in the box, 41, and that's another out. That's lifted to right. Over comes Staub, and he's under it. Garr goes back to the bench. And here's Marty Perez. Marty Perez batting 317 and 300 bats, and he's going to get a hit here for sure. That's a drive. Will anybody get it? No. That splits the outfielders and goes to the wall, and that's a 2-out double for Marty Perez on a 66-8. Wow. And Darrell Evans now, always dangerous. Lefty hitter. So Seaver is going to take his time. And Hodges goes out to talk to Seaver, because Evans has good power and he can swat one out of this park very easily and tie the game here in the bottom of the third. And they're ready, and Seaver gets the sign, looks over at Perez, the second, who's got his lead. Harrelson is moving towards the bag to keep him close. And here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 42 with an 18. That's a fly ball center field, which will be too shallow to do anything. And that's the final out. Okay. Ron Hodges leads off against Rorik Harrison. And a 35 will be a tapper right back to Harrison, who throws over to first for out number 1. Don Hahn. And a 66, and that's a drive in the gap. Will Baker get there? No, and that's one hop off the wall. Digging for second is Hahn. Here's the throw from Baker, the tag from Johnson, and he is safe at second base with a double. So Don Hahn, a 1-out double. He's in scoring position for Harrelson now. Harrison gets the sign from Casanova. Here's the pitch, and a 24 will be a hit by pitch, but with 19, it's going to be a fly out to right, but assistant third tag. That's only if you're tagging. Assist chance at third base, tag score for 2 outfielders. Okay. Yeah, there's not a third base, so it's an out. And then Hana's going to hold it second. That's going to bring Tom Terrific to bat. Pitch from Harrison, and that's a 43, which will be a ball 4. So he walks Seaver. And here comes Garrett, who hit a home run in his last at bat. And pitch at 25, and that is going to be a fly ball right field. Garr comes over, sets under it, retires the side. Here's Dusty Baker for the Braves, leading off against Seaver. Seaver's ready on the pitch. And a 32 will be a grounder to short. Buddy Harrelson throws over to Milner. 1 away. Here's Mike Lummy, bats from the left side. Seaver's ready. And here's the pitch. Winds and deals, 21. Struck him out. And that is strikeout number, 4 for Seaver. 2 outs. And Davy Johnson. And a 21 will be back-to-back Ks for Tom Terrific. And we go at top of the 5th. Moving along here in beautiful downtown Atlanta. That's a 43 to Mian, and that'll be a 13 is a ground ball to short. Scooped up by Perez. Good throw to Tepedino. And brings up Rusty Staub, the lefty Staub. Batting 280, has a hit today. 45 won't be a hit. A 45 could potentially be a walk, and it is. So it's a 1-4 walk, and I rolled a 3. And here comes Cleon Jones. Cleon Jones steps in the box. He's ready. And Harrison sets and deals. With a 61 will be strike 3. Gets him looking. And Johnny Milner. Johnny Milner has some power. Harrison, he's ready to pitch. And a 54. Now that's going to be an interesting play. Let's see what it is. It's going to be a wild pitch or a pass ball. That's going to be a pass ball. So runner to second, pitch to Milner. 15, that's rather short. It's pretty late, 4:30 a.m. And we go to the bottom of the fifth. Tepedino leads off against Tom Terrific. And a 44 is lined, base hit to right. I think, isn't that the second hit? Tepedino's second hit of the day? I'm not sure. Here's Casanova now. Pitch. And 32 will be a ground ball to third, and that's going to be a 5-4-3 double play. Around the horn. 2 outs. And here comes Harrison. How the Topps baseball season for this year. 61, and that will be a check swing, and they look at the first base ump and he rings them up. So Seaver's having quite a day so far. Dominant. And Ron Hodges, he's ready. Lefty batter. Here's the pitch from Harrison. And that's a 51, so potential for an error on a 51, and that's the pitcher. Harrison's error rating is an 11, so that will be an error because we rolled a 9. So that's going to be an E1. An E1 on that 51. Oh, wait a second, it's an exotic pitcher chart error. So that requires a look at the exotic chart. Let's see. Alright, exotic chart, pitcher catcher exotic chart. Let's roll the D20. Oh no, it's based on the on-base situation. So there's nobody on base, and let's see. Ball is thrown down the first base line by the pitcher, the catcher, batter. F batter to third, batter to second. Okay, so it's a ground ball to Harrison, who throws it over Tepedino's head. The ball goes down the line, retrieved by Gar, and going into second base is going to be Hodges. So it's going to be a 2-base error on the pitcher. And here comes Hahn with nobody out. So I'm not going to bunt here because the runner is in scoring position. Just 14 will be a 7 lifted to left. Under it is Lum, no advance. Here's Harrelson. He's a switch hitter batting from the left side. Is from Harrison. Harrelson versus Harrison, 63. And that could be a strikeout. It's not. It's going to be a ground ball to third. They'll look Hodges back to second base. He holds there. And here's Tom Terrific here in the top of the 6th inning. And pitch. 24, which is an out, and it's tapped right back to the mound for the final out of the inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Let's check and see fatigue factors for the pitchers. Seaver's doing great, and Harrison's right at the cusp. So, all right, Seaver's going to face the top of the order. Here's Ralph Gar, lefty hitter with a 56, strike 3. Got him out front on the fastball. Next is Marty Perez with a 54. And let's see what that's going to be all about. A 54 is going to say, fly ball left field error. A 3, that may be an error because the number's so low. Let's see. Cleon Jones is out there, and he will drop the ball for sure. So it's a left field, and it's an exotic error. So we'll see what that's all about. Left field with nobody on. Just look at that page. And exotic error. Let's see. Left field. Outfield. All right, let's roll. And what does it say? A 4. We'll say single plus error. Single plus error. And that's easy to do. So its line falls in front of Jones, but then he bobbles it, and runner will take the extra base. Single plus error on Jones. So Perez is in scoring position. Next up is Darrell Evans. The Mets are leading by 2. Here's the pitch to Evans, and that's a snake eyes, ball 4. So he walks Evans, who has a tendency to collect a lot of base on balls. And here's Dusty Baker, who can always surprise you and drive one out of the park. Mets only have a 2-0 lead, so a big swing by Baker Mets could see themselves trailing. And it's 12, and that's going to be a 1-7 walk. Otherwise, it's a curveball, and he swings through it for the second out. Here comes Mike Lum, the lefty. He's got power in the pitch, and I thought it was at 36, and that'll be bounced to third base, picked up by Garrett. Over to second for the force, and that retires the side. We go to the top of the 7th. Wayne Garrett is leading off. Let's look at some box scores today let's look at the box score for the Mets today. See, Garrett is 1 for 3, Mian 0 for 3, and then Staub is 1 for 2. Batting cleanup will be Jones, who's walked twice. He's 0 for 1. So Harrison is pretty much done. We'll get him to go try to get this inning. Here's the pitch, unless he gets in trouble, 23. But no, he strikes out Garrett. And here's Mian, who doesn't strike out very much. And it's a 56, and that'll be a ground ball to short. Picked up by Perez. Strong throw to first. 2 out. And here's Rusty Staub. And a 65. That's a drive, but that will be caught at the warning track to end the inning. All right, D. Johnson is going to lead off here. Davey Johnson against Seaver in the bottom of the 7th inning, 7th inning stretch. Take me out to the ball game. It's a 32, and a 32 will be lifted to left. Coming over, settling under it is Jones, 1 away. Here's Tepedino. It's a lefty hitter with a 15, and that's a high fly. It's Hahn or Jones, and Jones calls him off. And here's Paul Casanova, the pitch from Seaver with a 15, and that'll be tapped right back to the mound for Seaver to pick up, and flips it over to Milner to end the inning. We go to the top of the 8th. Cleon Jones will lead off. We're going to do a new pitcher here. Let me see where the pitcher bats. Yeah, the pitcher's due up next inning, so we'll bring in do a double switch here. Bring in a lefty batter, and who's coming up for the Mets? We got some lefties, so we're going to call on House. I'm going to call on Tom House, but we're going to put him in a certain place. And leading off, we don't want Aaron to lead off. We'll get Jackson. We'll put Jackson in that spot to lead off. And Jackson will play shortstop or second base. We need to have somebody play first base. How about Coggin? Dietz. Well, but he's a righty. I want to use a lefty. Bench hitting, you see lefty Norm Miller can do 1. He's just the left fielder and right fielder. All right. Norm Miller will come in. The pitcher, will be House. Who will come in Lum's spot. All right, so we got House will be the new pitcher, and House is going to see what he gets. He becomes an A pitcher. Mike Harrison's out of there. And then I'm going to stop at a split second because my dog, I think, needs something. All right, we are in the top of the 8th inning. Let's see. All right, it's Cleon Jones is up. Tom House is still in there. It's 2-0 Mets over Atlanta. Let's see how this turns out. Here's the pitch to Jones, and it's a 63, and that'll be 20 is a line drive to the first baseman, ripped to Tepedino, and he snags it for the first out of the inning. So Jones hit that hard, but right at the first baseman. Here's John Milner. John Milner batting .243 with 10 home runs, slugging .394. Faces the lefty Tom House. Here is the pitch, and that's a 36, and that will be a bouncer to the first baseman. Tepedino steps on the bag ahead of Milner for out number 2. House gets the sign from Casanova behind the plate for the Braves, and Hodges takes a couple of practice swings and steps in the box. He's ready to go. The pitch from House. And 21, and that'll be a swing and a miss, goes down on strikes. Easy inning, 1-2-3 for House. And Seaver back on the mound. In the bottom of the 8th inning, he will be facing N. Miller. Let's see here. Let's take a quick peek at the left fielder, Norm Miller. Let's see where we have him. Did we grab him yet? Oh, here he is. Okay. Norm Miller ready to swing away against Seaver. See how he does. And here's the pitch, and that's going to be a 62, strike 3. Miller is quickly disposed of on a strikeout. Fastball by Seaver. And next is Ralph Garr, the Roadrunner. Bats from the left side. Pitcher winds and deals, and that's a 55. That's going to be a drive in the gap. Is anybody going to get there? No. And that's going to take one hop off the wall, and the speedy Garr around second. So Hahn with the throw to third, attacked by Garrett, and that's a triple. Yikes, a triple for Garr here with 1 out. And that's going to bring up Marty Perez. Perez having a good season, batting .322, and he's got hits today, so we're not going to pinch hit for him. He's 2 for 3 today, batting .322. Then we have Evans and Baker after him, so Seaver has his work cut out for him. He's been spectacular so far, allowing only 6 hits, but he's just given up a triple to Ralph Garr on that 55. 55 is... it's a nice number to roll on some players. All right, so we're going to play the infield back, allow the run to score. Just trying to get Perez out. Here's the pitch from Seaver. And that is a 45. And a 45 is a swing and a miss. Struck him out. So Seaver again reaching back and bringing up a little extra. Blows a fastball by Perez. We had no chance for that. He was way behind on that. And the catcher actually threw it back to Seaver, and that's when Perez swung the bat. That's how late he was. All right, D. Evans, Darrell Evans, lefty hitter. Good power here in the bottom of the 8th. So Seaver again has an imposing batter to deal with. And here goes the pitch. And that's going to be a 61, strike 3. So Seaver comes back with a vengeance and keeps his shutout intact with 2 big strikeouts despite allowing a triple. 2-0 Mets. We go to top of the ninth. And leading off is going to be Don Hahn. Let's see where House is at in terms of batters faced. Oh, he's only faced 3 batters. Okay, we're good. So Don Hahn steps to the plate. He's ready. And that's a 45, which is going to be an out, kind of an out. It's a fly ball. Right field, Baker and Gar come together on it, and it's Gar who calls him off. Next up is Buddy Harrelson. Harrelson batting .297 on the season and 200 bats. He's been in and out of the lineup with injuries, so he's missed about 30 some odd games. Here's a pitch from House, and that's a 15, which will be a 13. On a switch hitter, he batting righty, will be a grounded to short, scooped up by Perez, and lets her fly to Tepedino in time to get the speedy Harrelson. Rest in peace, Bud Harrelson passed the other day. And Tom Seaver, who will bat. And that's a 54. We're going to check on that. It says a single, little bloop over the second baseman's head, and there's a chance for an error on Gar. What do we roll? 15, and that is going to be too high, so it's going to be a bloop single. 4, it's a 10 error, and we rolled a 15 too high, so it's going to be a bloop single for Seaver here in the top of the ninth, and that's going to bring up Wayne Garrett. Garrett's got 10 home runs and batting .277. He's been fairly consistent in terms of playing time. Played most games on the season. We're about, I think, game 88, 89. Here's the pitch to Garrett, the lefty. Lefty on lefty, 13, and that'll be a ground ball to third. Evans goes to second for the force, and that retires the side. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Can Seaver shut out the Braves? 2 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error for the Braves. The Mets 2 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. So they're up by 2. It'll be Dusty Baker. And Baker hit 21 home runs, batted .290. So pretty good. And here's the pitch from Seaver, and that's a 21, which will be a grounder to second base, Mian. He handles it easily and throws out Baker. 1 away. Mike Lum. Actually, it's House. Lum was replaced, so we're going to get another lefty. We're going to bring it up Oates. Call on Oates to hit. All right. Here's Johnny Oates. He bats from the left side. And Seaver gets the sign from Hodges, and he's ready. And a 55, that's ripped for a base hit to right. So Staub plays it on a hop, and Seaver gives up a single, his 7th hit allowed in this game. Now you got some power hitters coming up again. The Atlanta Braves lineup sprinkled with power hitters up and down through the lineup. Guys who hit 20, 30, 40 home runs. Johnson hit 43 home runs. So Seaver better, proceed with caution. Seaver allows home runs on 1-5 clip. Actually, 1-6 clip. So any roll within 1-6 will be a home run if it falls on Davey Johnson's home run. And he's got 3. Well, he's got 2 that don't apply to Seaver, and then 1 that applies to Seaver. Pitcher home run opportunity. That influences how many home runs pitchers allow. Anyway, let's hopefully that doesn't happen. It doesn't tie up the game here. What you wanted to do is prevent anyone from reaching base, because a solo shot would not hurt us, but now a 2-run shot is going to tie the game. Here's a pitch. And it's a 53 with a 1. Struck him out. Big K for Seaver. Blows it by Johnson, who made it obvious that he was swinging for the fences. And here's a lefty, Frank Tepedino now. He's got a little power as well. He's got against pitcher power, and he's got 1-5 power. So he does have some power. So Seaver will have to proceed with caution. Here's the pitch. And a 54 is going to be one of those odd calls. Let's see what that's going to turn into. A wild pitch potential out of 10, and that one spiked by Seaver, and that's going to move Oates to second base. So a wild pitch by Terrific moves Oates to second, although that is not the run we're worried about. We're worried about the batter right now, Tepedino. So ball one to Tepedino, and takes a couple practice swings, steps back in the box. Seaver gets a sign from Hodges, and he sets and deals. And it's a Snake Eyes, which will be a bouncer right back to Seaver, who bobbles it, gets control, whips it to Milner at first, and that's the ball game. So Seaver comes through huge, improves his record to 7-10. Still has a losing record, unfortunately, but has an outstanding day. Pitches a shutout, a 9-inning shutout, and complete game shutout, allowed 2 walks, struck out 12, came up huge at the end, faced only 34 batters, lowered his ERA to 3.60, which is the way we want to see it go. And in terms of hitting, you've got Garrett, you've got Staub with a hit, 1 for 3 for Staub. Garrett, an RBI and a 1 for 5. 2 hits for Don Hahn, who's improving slowly his batting average. He started off very, very slow, but now he's slowly raising his batting average, and that's about it. So final score 2-0 Mets with 2 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. Mets don't have a great record, but I'm looking at improving that for the second half of the season. Rorik Harrison takes the loss. He's 5-5. And that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe to my channel, and check out a little Fall Classic Baseball. You can get the PDF set for $20, and they have every season available with all the players, and you can also try it for free. Yep, yes you can. You can get the rules. You can try it for free. All right, take care.